Hey everybody, I am Caroline Rudderman and I am a Reiki Master Teacher since 2013. And we are going to do a little self-treatment today. So one of the things that can be really challenging for people who feel really big emotions is that it almost feels like when you're in it, it almost feels like you're bleeding out. Not everybody feels emotions this way, but sometimes when really big emotions come up, it's just like, is there an end? Is there an end to this? Okay, so I'm just going to show you a very simple technique that we can do for self-treatment to help the process go more smoothly. All right, so we're going to take a nice big breath in, and I got you, okay? So I'm holding space for you in this video, but this is a real, this is a practice along kind of thing, okay? So we're gonna take a nice big breath in, inside out. There you go. So if you're feeling like your nervous system is really almost like split open right now, and there's a lot of energy moving out, a lot of emotion moving through, pouring out, you are in the right place. Okay. So we're going to begin starting at the hand positions of the head. So you're just going to take your Reiki hands, place them on your head, and go Reiki go. And exhale. And if you haven't yet watched one of my attunement videos or received an attunement from another Reiki Master Teacher, please go watch those first. It really does make a huge difference in the power that is flowing through you. It opens up our energy channels when we receive an attunement, so we can really start passing the Reiki along in a really monumental way. There you go. Take another big breath in. It's like turning on your magic hands when you receive an attunement. Beautiful. There you go. And just go Reiki go. So I'm even going to interlace my fingers so that I can almost let my arms and my shoulders rest, so I don't feel like I have to hold my hands up. I can kind of really let my shoulders relax. And it's totally fine if you want to do this laying down as well. Some Reiki hand positions are done more easily when you are laying down or when you're sitting up, okay? And exhale. And what I'm feeling right now is it almost feels like, of course I'm feeling the weight of my hands, and I'm feeling my shoulders. I did a hard workout on my shoulders this morning, so I'm really feeling my body. But I'm also feeling the crown of my head, the crown chakra. It feels like it's softening. It feels almost like it's being stretched open. I don't know how else to say it. It doesn't hurt in any way. It just feels like it's widening. Right, and that's our connection to the spiritual realm. That's our connection to God or whatever. It's our connection to source energy, to music, to ideas. Okay, so don't let the word God turn you off. I know there's plenty of religious trauma and plenty of icky things that happen in the name of that word, but let's just think of it as source energy or the universe or love or all creation. There's a million words, so don't get stuck on one. Exactly. Yeah. Yep. Where do ideas come from? They have to come from somewhere, right? Beautiful. All right. And now we're gonna keep working downwards, okay? So this is almost we're gonna think of this as a Reiki waterfall. So the next hand position is across the forehead and across the back of the third eye. So you can kind of see that my hand is kind of placed not quite at the base of the skull, but almost a little bit. So they're not like totally parallel. So I'm a little bit down. I'm a little bit down. And you might find that you want to keep your hand maybe not at the crown, but kind of up here. So if you're noticing that there's different areas of your body that are holding tension, go there, okay? You cannot do this work wrong, and you cannot mess it up. And breathe. Breathing is going to help act as a pump to release all that big emotion. You got it. There you go. Yes. Oh, you're doing so good. I can see it. Yeah. There you go. And like I said, because I did a really challenging arm and shoulder exercise this morning, I'm really feeling my arms and shoulders. So I'm just going to bring my hands down to kind of the back of my neck here, just to kind of give it a little bit more spaciousness. And it's just a simple reminder that you should be comfortable while you're doing this work. As you are more and more comfortable when you're doing this work, the Reiki can flow through your entire system with that much more ease, okay? I'm going to go ahead and bring my hands. I'm not going to touch my eyeglasses because I don't want to get fingerprints all over, but I'm going to work directly over my eyes. And if you're also wearing glasses, you can take your ear frames off. Hello world, I see nothing now. So I'm just going to go ahead and place my hands right over my eyes. This is always so nourishing. And exhale. You don't have to keep saying go Reiki go, but if you want to, you can. Yeah, this is your system is just going to start settling down. There you go. And you can bring, for me, it just felt like I wanted to bring my hands down to my throat. So I'm really at the back of my throat now, the back of my neck, as well as at the front of my throat. And notice I'm not gripping, I'm not holding, okay? I'm not clenching. I'm keeping everything a little bit more soft. Yeah. So one of the things that I often notice in myself and sometimes in my students is that the wrists can get tight. And when the wrists get tight, the elbow gets tight, and really there's like a patch of muscles that get tight here too. I don't know the mechanics of it, but I'm watching the energy pathways. So one of the things that you can notice is always see if you can soften across the knuckles and see if you can soften across the wrists. And if that means that it's harder to hold your arm in place, make yourself more comfortable and move your arm, okay? So I am going to move my hand, it was at the back of the neck, and now I'm going to move it down to the upper heart. So the heart center is like, you know, kind of right between the nipples, but I want you to think about, it's kind of like at the center of the breastbone, but I want to have you guys work at the high heart. So it's almost under the collarbone that you'll be working, and the throat. Beautiful, there you go. So you might start noticing the energy is like sinking kind of deeper. Yeah. And I know I've said this before in some of my prior videos, but some of you are drinking way too much caffeine. It just creates a rigid pathway. It creates a rigid, stuck pathway. And it's really, really hard to release into the emotional content when your mind is buzzing, when your whole nervous system is buzzing. So if you can cut back by half, if you can take a day and just like let yourself be tired, or have a day where you're kind of detoxing, trust me, you will really appreciate it. Your body will thank you. what I notice, I still enjoy a cup of caffeine, cup of coffee here and there, but what I do notice in my body is that, one, when I'm not drinking caffeine regularly, my energy levels throughout the day are way more steady. On the days that I do sometimes have a cup of coffee, like honestly, like I can't even have like a full cup of coffee. It's like decaf, right? It's just like where I'm at. But when I do have a little bit of coffee, I notice that it almost feels like the next day I'm a little bit more tired, like I'm borrowing from future reserves. Like I feel all energized during the day and all like lit up, but then the next day I notice my energy system deplete. And it bounces right back up because I have other energy patterns that I support myself with, and other positive habits, and drinking a lot of water and getting fresh air and movement and all that kind of stuff. But you know, that's what I experience. Here you go, another big breath in. An herbalist friend of mine recommended that if you are trying to cut out caffeine, that fresh mint, like mint tea, is huge in supporting that process. So if you grow mint in your garden, or one of your local herbalists is growing mint, that is, or even getting it from the grocery store, right? Get that fresh mint and pour some tea over it. A little honey or some maple syrup if you want some sweetener. There you go. Yeah, mint is definitely an herbal ally. Beautiful. And now you're not going to be able to see this because it's going to be off camera, but I'm going to have you bring your hands down. So one hand that was sort of under the collarbone, I'm going to have you bring it down maybe an inch or two. And the second hand is going to go towards just kind of the bottom of the ribs. Yeah, exactly. Almost where it's where the diaphragm is, but where the bottom of the ribs and the abdomen become soft. So there's the upper chest cavity, and then there's the lower abdominal cavity. So I want you to kind of have your hands at the pivot point of the two. Yeah, there you go. So one hand heart center, and one hand solar plexus, one hand at the bottom of the ribs. Beautiful. And if you want to bring both hands to, it's not quite the waist, but just a little bit above the waist at the bottom of the ribs, you can kind of have your hands almost side like this, but at the bottom of the ribs. There you go. And don't worry if my explanations are confusing. Just go where your hands go. Let your whole system just be relaxed. There you go. Exactly. Soften the wrists. Yep. Soften the jaw. And exhale. And then go ahead and bring both hands all the way down to the lower abdomen. Yeah, as low as they can go onto the lower abdomen. Gorgeous. Take another breath in. And it's your body. You can touch where you want to, but if you feel like you want to have it an inch away from your body, have your hands, or 3 inches or 10 inches away from your body. So if you're working on your hand, on your own body, you can have your hands like this. You can have them here. You can have them here. You might feel different sensations at different points, because it's different parts of the energy field that are being, you know, relaxed, released. There you go, exactly. So we're just having our hands at the bottom of the abdomen here. Beautiful. And see if you can really soften at the wrists. I'm sure my glasses are crooked. There you go. And we're going to do the sequence one more time. Okay, so I'm going to talk a little less this time. So hands at the top of the head. Before we kind of interlocked the fingers and let the shoulders rest, but you can just as easily place your hands like this. Okay. Moving the hands to the forehead, into the back of the head. Moving the hands across the eyes and a little bit lower across the back of the head. Soften at the wrists, soften at the jaw. And breathe, exhale. Moving my hand to the back of my neck and just to the front of the mouth. And I'm beaming here, okay? You can have your Reiki hands, try not to muffle, but you can have your Reiki hands touching, or you can be beaming. I'm gonna beam. Throat. And again, my back hand is here, at the base of the skull, back of the neck. And if you want to be a little bit lower, you can really nest your hands onto the top of your shoulders, as well as covering some of the back of the neck. Go ahead and bring both hands to the heart center. One hand stays at the heart center, the second hand moves down towards the upper abdomen, across the ribs. And then we're going to go ahead and move both hands to the lower abdomen. Breathe. There you go. We're going to do this waterfall sequence a third time and a little faster. So we bring our hands to the top of the head. And we're going to do about 2 or maybe 5 breaths per position. Hands to the forehead and to the back of the head. Hands to the eyes. I'm just beaming here, but you can place your hands directly over the eyes if that feels nourishing, and just a little bit lower on the back of the head. And we're going to go ahead and same thing, you can do the mouth, or you can bring your hands directly to the back of the head and the throat if that feels more like where you want to be. There's variation is allowed. This is a template, not a strict form. Okay. Both hands come to the heart center. One hand stays at the heart center and the other hand goes down to the abdomen, right over the belly button. Or you can even do right below the belly button if you prefer. And go ahead and bring both hands down to the lower abdomen. There you go, soften the wrists. You got this, you got this. Okay, so this is the waterfall sequence. It's done 3 times. Please continue to practice it, and it's really to help you process big emotions that are like flowing and flowing and flowing. Okay, for more acute panic attack big emotions, there's another video for that. Okay, all right. I hope that you enjoy this. Let me know how it goes. Please let me know in the comments if you have any questions, or please share your experience. It really makes a huge difference to connect with lots of other people who are doing this work. Okay, so be well, and I have a lot of love for you.